It is 8:21. The New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission, ELEC, has just announced the first gubernatorial debate of the 2025 race for governor will be hosted by the New Jersey Globe, us here at On New Jersey, and Rider University. This highly anticipated town hall style debate between Democrat Mikie Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli set for September 21st at Rider University. Joining us now is the man of the hour, David Wildstein, editor of the New Jersey Globe. Our good friend David, congratulations. Good morning. The New Jersey Globe, amazing. And we're very lucky here at On New Jersey to be part of it with you. And Rider University selected to host that first gubernatorial debate. Walk us through what the moment means for your team and why the partnership is uniquely positioned to host this event.
Well, this was great. I mean, there was, first of all, a lot of interest, a lot of major media players, nationally and local, put in for this debate. It's the key race in the country this year. So, Jersey, which sometimes gets the short shrift, sometimes gets forgotten, people were there. And, and for all of us, this is just, it's an honor because New Jersey gubernatorial candidates have to do two debates. It's what they agree to do in exchange for millions and millions of dollars in public financing. And, I got to tell you, Ken, I look at your station On New Jersey and what you've accomplished over, what is it, 2.5 years? I mean, this is sort of, we're witnessing the birth of a new network here. The ELEC commissioners, kudos to all of them. They recognized the change in the way people get their news. That it's not from 7 to 8. Instead of watching, Jeopardy, you're going to watch a debate and Wheel of Fortune. It's being able to deliver something where people can watch on their own time, find it themselves, easily and be at their convenience. But think about what's happened On New Jersey in this short time. I mean, just yesterday, you had some big names that came before the panel and asked to moderate the debate. You had Dana Bash at CNN. You had Stephanie Rule at MSNBC. You had Pat Battle, who we've all known for a very long time.
I know Pat very well.
Yeah, and NBC, and quality people, and PBS and News 12. And who is the winner of this competition? It's your Laura Jones. Laura Jones came out, and the reason is because they trust On New Jersey and the New Jersey Globe and Rider that we have now developed this history of putting on fair debates. We don't do gotcha questions. We talk about local issues that New Jersey people care about. We're going to be the ones that ask about health benefits for state workers, or and how they're going to pay for it, and how it's going to affect property taxes and all sorts of local issues. We know about potholes on Route 80 and how the governor is ultimately responsible for that. So we get to give the voters the chance to see the two candidates face to face talking about local issues. And it's just for a station, like On New Jersey, for the New Jersey Globe, which isn't much older than you guys. We're 7.5 years, and it no longer is a time where people can helicopter into New Jersey every 4 years and say, we're here. We are here with this great national audience. And what they said is, no, we want the local news people. We want the people that are dealing with these issues on a daily basis to be able to be the ones to ask the information. So I'm just incredibly proud of On New Jersey, of our group, of Micah Rasmussen at the Revovich Institute, who knows New Jersey issues, to the smallest detail. And by the way, and I don't want to embarrass you, but when they know that Ken Rosato is part of this proposal and that you're going to be there, and you at the last debate did hours of pre-show and hours of post-show. We don't just show up there and say, okay, we're going to do a debate for 55 minutes and we're out the door. This is an event. This is something that people watch. Our debates, and if I sounds like I'm crowing a little bit, it's because I am. We had over 900,000 people watch our gubernatorial debates in May, and part of it is we didn't, we re-aired them 16 times. Now we're going to do that. We're going to continue to put them on constantly. It's going to be in multiple languages, just about every language that the state of New Jersey uses to register voters, and have be able to vote in voting machines in native languages. We're going to have closed captioning in those languages.
It's amazing. And by the way, thank you for the praise to us, certainly to the Globe. You guys are an amazing publication. And I say publication in quotes because it's an online publication. Gone are the days when you do this. I can't tell you the last time I held a printed newspaper. It just isn't something really done much anymore. It was funny. I was in a Publix supermarket in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and I saw the stand in front. And I saw some newspapers, printed newspapers in the stand. Then I looked at one. There was the newspaper there was 3 weeks old.
Wow.
It was 3 weeks old because nobody buys them. They just sit there. And you would think some of the retirees in Florida would want the printed copy. Not so much anymore. So you're right. The whole industry has evolved. And that said, ELEC has also awarded a second debate to my old folks. I worked at WABC TV for 20 years, great people, and their sister station, the ABC-owned station in Philly, WPVI 6ABC, also to Rutgers. And pardon me, a lieutenant governor debate goes to Channel 11. What do you think it says about ELEC's priorities that they chose this mix of local and regional with us? So we're the state of New Jersey, and then they chose those regional flanking stations. What do you think the mentality was there?
Yeah, I think, look, I looked at the list of people that were competing, and it's impressive. I mean, no doubt when you have Dana Bash of CNN that covers people at the highest levels of American politics saying, I want to come to New Jersey and do a town hall meeting with voters to talk about issues. That's just an incredibly effective proposal. What ELEC did is they were able to look beyond sort of the shiny bells and whistles of a big network and say, what do we care if people in Minneapolis and in San Antonio are watching a gubernatorial debate? We want to reach as many New Jersey voters as we can. And that's really what's important. You've got a potentially close race here. I think it's close, and our responsibility is an informed electorate. We're doing an hour and a half debate. I had to promise everybody that we wouldn't do 2.5 hours like we did last time, and that was, I'm happy we did that because voters really got to see the depth of a candidate. Candidates get, I think it's about $12 million in public financing from the state, and all they have to do for $12 million is 2 debates, and one for the lieutenant governor. That's a pretty good payoff. Ken, I would venture to say, and I don't want to, I don't want to offend your libertarian streak here or anything, but by venturing as to how much money you have. But my guess is you and I could be convinced to debate twice a week for $12 million in perpetuity. So this is a great deal for the candidates.
I agree.
And this is what they have to give up. And by the way, both of the candidates, Sherrill, one of the things on New Jersey, the Globe and Ryder did, and I was surprised to learn that not everybody did this. In fact, nobody else did this. Complete and total briefing to the 2 campaigns prior to putting our debate application, showing our card, saying, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to run the debate. Do you have any feedback? And wound up getting to a place where both candidates were happy with the proposal before we even walked in the door. And there's it's probably arrogant for me to say that there's a lack of arrogance in the way we do things, but we're just Jersey people. And we know how Jersey works. And one of the ways Jersey works is you have a sit down and you talk to people and you communicate with them in advance. No surprises, no fights. At least not from our end. Hopefully, maybe from the candidates, but uh, it comes from the experience that our group of On New Jersey, the New Jersey Globe, and Rider have done. We have, I mean, starting with the Globe, in the infancies of, we did our first debate in 2000 in 2020 during COVID on Zoom. And you remember when Zoom was like sort of cutting edge and cool, and people, and we did it virtually during COVID. Now these are
Right.
massive events. Ryder's going to have, I think this is a debate for about 1,500 people that are going to be there, cheering on their candidates or just watching. And that's good for New Jersey. And again, I mean, I'm rambling and I apologize, but I get excited about this stuff. And isn't it the fact that we had such a large applicant pool of credible media organizations looking to do this debate is great for New Jersey. It was great for them
I
to have
agree.
choice.
I agree. And I might say, by the way, the reason why we're down from 2.5 hours to 1.5 hours is this time it's only two individuals. So those people are actually going to get more time per person to speak than when we had five in the Democrat side and three in the Republican. I mean, there will be plenty of time during that 90 minutes. The other stations, and this is not to knock them, they have the reality of obligations to the networks, et cetera. So they only get 30, 60 minutes, whatever. I don't know what their schedule is, so I don't want to impugn them in any way. But we have the ability to say, no, we'll do 90 minutes and we'll make it breathe. And you ask every question and answer every question and not in 10-second sound bites. We want to know. And by the way, the only issue I have, and I know this is separate from the debate, the issue I have with our candidates is I feel I'm not hearing enough from them. It seems like
Right.
both are playing the Biden rule of let's stay in the basement and talk only when necessary. They need to come out. We need to hear more. And I think they both have a lot to offer. These are two really prime candidates, but I
Right.
want to hear more as a New Jersey resident from both of them before we get to the debate. David Wildstein, we're actually out of time right now, but we will have you back obviously many times between now and September. Editor of the New Jersey Globe. Check it out online. I check it out every day. And of course, you could see David Wildstein's Inside Edge right here on New Jersey every morning during On New Jersey Mornings. David, you are a great man. Thank you so much for coming on
Thanks,
this
man.
morning, my friend. You bet. Looking forward to September.